You're listening to Eureka on Monocle Radio, brought to you by the team behind The Entrepreneurs, the show all about inspiring people, innovative companies, and fresh ideas in global business. I'm Tom Edwards. Catherine Bailey is the brand director of Heath Ceramics, a California-based maker of goods for the home. Bailey co-owns the enterprise with her husband, Robin. The company was founded by Edith and Brian Heath in the 1940s and since then has evolved to become a beloved staple in design and homewares. With a product range of handcrafted dinnerware essentials, tiles and decor all made in the Golden State, Heath Ceramics is a fixture on tabletops the world over and on countless wedding registries. We headed to the company's HQ and studio in San Francisco to catch up with Catherine and with Clay Studio director Tung Chiang to hear how the brand keeps pace with ever-changing customer needs. Here are Catherine and Tung with more.
I'm Catherine Bailey, and I am the brand director at Heath Ceramics. I'm also one of the owners with my husband, Robin, and we have been running this business since 2003, so over 20 years. Heath Ceramics was started in 1947 by Edith Heath and her husband, Brian. And she was an artist, potter, teacher, and really deeply interested in the materials involved in ceramics. And so the company has grown out of her love from that. So in 1947, in Sausalito, California, production was started for what became very famous and influential American-made ceramic dinnerware, credited to Edith Heath. And all these years later, we still make all of our dinnerware in Sausalito in a factory that was purpose-built to make ceramic dinnerware, and that opened in 1959. And today we make all of our tile in San Francisco in a building in the Mission, and that facility today has a showroom, a space for other artists and makers, restaurant, and so we're trying to continue to have Heath be an integral part of the San Francisco community.
I'm Tung Chiang. I'm the Clay Studio director here, and I joined here 2012, so a little over 10 years now, and I've been focused on exploration within Heath Ceramics. I actually started out as an industrial designer. Before that, I grew up from Hong Kong, and then I studied graphic design, advertising, and eventually worked in advertising. Until 2000, I moved to US. As I work in industrial design, I still have a deep dream of making things by hand. And as an industrial designer, there's oftentimes is sitting in front of computers, generating ideas and sketches. So I don't get to really touch on making the products. I stumbled upon a clay studios and I started taking class. And since then, I fall in love with clay. That is really a world contrast of both of them are creative process at the end, not just about craft. But at the end, I find out is that clay, you can rely on just your two hands, a simple wheel, a kiln, and then you can make the products by yourself, which is really satisfying. So that since then, I've been dreaming about how to transition from an industrial designer to maybe one day to be a potter. And opportunities come when 2012, when she started exploring this building, which is in my neighborhood. I ran into her, and then eventually we started to realize is that there's a similar goal about using clay as a media to explore creativities. So that worked out, and I was lucky enough to find this job.
So this is a neighborhood in San Francisco that we've always felt really connected to. There's something about the scale of the streets and the buildings and the diversity in this neighborhood. So it was a place that we were looking to be in. It felt like a place where we could really become part of the community and an integral part of it. We found this building. It kind of had everything we needed, sort of, but we needed to do a lot of work to make it into kind of this facility that incorporated everything we had this vision to do. So what we were looking for is some place that had a big enough space for a proper factory type environment, but also we were able to kind of divide up parts of the space to do smaller scale work. And we really wanted to design a space so people in the community and customers could come in and understand what we were doing, what was important to us, which was doing this manufacturing in the urban environment. It was always important to us to have that be an integral part of the business and for people to value it and not put it somewhere where it was disconnected from your community. So in order to do that, you kind of have to balance a lot of things. So we're able to kind of have a retail store here in the same building. You're kind of having some smaller makers that we could support and kind of put it all together so people can come and understand and engage with the business, but also get something, like learn something for themselves. And what we're doing today is also more workshops, more ways for people can learn and understand and kind of, grow themselves within the community. There's multiple reasons why we wanted to do this, but we have in our space studios that are leased out to other artists or makers in the community. But the selfish part of it is these people that we get to work around then inspire us, right? So instead of coming to work and only seeing, the people that are in your own business, you've got these other people doing this incredible work. So it inspires us creatively, and also it just makes it really vibrant and interesting.
What is important for us is that when people think about studios, there's a work aspect of it. It's about like how organized, how you can make things and functioning. But yet at the same time, I realize is that like the studio itself should have a spirit as well. So we try really hard that not just to maintain it being clean and functional, but yet over the times we're adding layer. The layer is built almost organically. It's about how I started connecting with different artists and the interest of collecting things. So if you look through the studios, there's a constant layer of comparison of my work, outside work, friendships, and something that I admire on. Throughout the 10 years, it slowly shrinks. It's almost like you look at my plants, starting out as a baby, and then eventually they crawl to the ceiling now. That is how organic I wish that like this space is being grown up.
People are wanting to engage more, get more out of their in-person experiences where they're putting their time. They're not looking to just, shop. There's so many easy ways for us all to get what we need these days. When you go out, you really need to be inspired. Maybe you want to learn something or use your hands. I mean, the workshops that we do, I think really engaging customers and really making them kind of get a lot of satisfaction out of the time that they're spending doing that. So we sell things through our showrooms. We feel like holding things, touching them, experiencing objects is really important, and we always want to celebrate that. But you can experience it online too. You can purchase things online, and we're creating different experiences and trying to share things and tell stories in different ways. And that's really a big shift. Like, how do you, we used to be able to rely on someone being able to pick it up to understand this object and its materials, and you can feel something from it. But we don't always have that opportunity anymore, so you got to tell those stories in different ways. But so all those things, but still really holding on to those tangible experiences and involving them feels really important.
That was Catherine Bailey, co-owner of Heath Ceramics, and clay studio director Tung Chiang. You can learn more about the brand and its story by heading over to heathceramics.com. And that's it for this episode of Eureka. We'll be back at the same time next week, and do look out for The Entrepreneurs, available every Wednesday. The programme was produced by Laura Kramer, with mixing and editing by Jack Dewars. You can listen again and find out more at monocle.com, or browse the archive via your preferred podcast platform. To contact the team, send Laura an email on lrk@monocle.com. I'm Tom Edwards. Goodbye, and thanks for listening to Eureka.